Opening both hands now. However you hold the palms open, simply point the fingers away from you like bird wings. Keep the hands somewhere around the level of your heart chakra, which is quite large in most of you, as if you were adding wings to your heart. And breathing directly into your heart, reseed the violet flame of Saint Germain. You all have the violet flame within your being, but now tonight I would like you to activate it and reseed it again if the seeds need nourishing or nurturing. We do this together in these transmissions, and you will receive one now. I will simply ask for you to tone. The right amount will come to each one of you, opening up the chakras in the tips of your fingers. Wiggle your fingers and stretch them, bend them, curl them, whatever you need to do to relax them then in an open space, with the chakras open on all 10 tips and the chakras open on the 10 tips of the toes. I am Saint Germain. Begin to breathe, drawing the violet flame into the heart chakra. I am Saint Germain, guardian of the violet flame. 10 tones. Slowly and gently turn the palms towards places in the body, physical, that need healing. You have activated the part of the violet flame, the seeds of the violet flame that are for healing. You have activated them for your personal healing. As you are breathing in and out, take a moment to command the personal healing to be the way that is most beneficial for you. If you don't know what it is, go with, I command the healing seeds in my body to act in a way that is most beneficial, most healing, most comforting, and most loving to myself. Healing can be intense. Healing can be intense, as those shamans who taught you by taking the poison of multiple snake bites into the body and transmutating the energy. It's not necessary for you to go through that level of pain. Most of you have already gone through levels of pain in this lifetime and others that defy imagining in this moment. I am Saint Germain, guardian of the violet flame. Call my name 3 times now, Saint Germain, Saint Germain, Saint Germain, Saint Germain. I invite you to help bring the violet flame into my body, into the most peaceful, comfortable, healing way that is possible for me. And then you go ahead and ask again for what you need to be healed. All the systems in the body moving smoothly and freely. When you call on the nervous system, the central nervous system, the autonomic, the sympathetic, the parasympathetic system, when you call on all those systems in your body and you enliven and activate your nerve impulses, go ahead and do it now by your command. Feel those nerve impulses moving with the vibration of the violet flame, moving through the physical body, bringing comfort and ease. Move it through the brain, move it through the heart, move it through the soul. I am Saint Germain, guardian of the violet flame. Now remember, often the withholding of something or the repelling, projecting of something So often when something is frightening to the human being, shameful, guilt-inducing, angering, there is a repellent part that comes to push it away. Once you repel, that can be turned into projection fairly easily. And so now we invite you to take those repellent things into your garden. Create the garden space to protect you, to balance you, to nourish and nurture you. And then invite in that person who most annoys you. And see them in the garden. See through the dark and the light. See who they are. Accept them with love. This does not mean you become a doormat and move out of your center. When you are centered, you are empowered. When you are empowered, you clearly see how to move in the world in a whole, empowered way. This is not a mental ideal, and yet we convey it through words as well as energy. And yet we convey it through words as well as the download of energy that you have received. And each and every one of you has received it quite powerfully. The more you re-listen to this in the next several days, particularly we are asking you to go through what you call in your part of the earth Halloween, to move through the Day of the Dead, to move through these times when your consciousness has allowed for the fourth dimensional beings to move more freely, or the astral beings to move more freely, when you have allowed, many of you, your shadows to come out costumed in personas that you ordinarily can't be. And so the more of you that can hold your balance between this time and the end of this month, perhaps doing these rituals over and over, re-listening to this, redoing your green energy coming up the spine and curling around you, which we will do before the end of this circle. This vibrational energy is healing. It brings wholeness and helps you stay centered. It helps you become an island of balance, and those islands of balance are beginning to connect, bing, 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 all over the planet, creating a huge force of a polarizing shift in consciousness, a polarity shift from material form to spiritual form. As this happens inside yourself, the polarity on the shift on the earth happens in a vibrational way and does not have to happen physically. It was explained to you earlier by Kuan Yin that the polar shift originally only happened after the polarity shift in consciousness, and that was actually thousands of years, by the way you count them. Things are shifting now because the frequency is moving faster, just like the hummingbird does. Your frequency is heightening, and so the time is shorter than it was perhaps in the past. You are less dense. You are much lighter. Your earth is actually less dense. With as much poison as there is in the third dimensional world because of carcinogens and off-gassing and all this kind and that kind and garbage and so on and so forth, you are still moving way faster than earlier when you first went into the first ice age. Much faster. Trust in the frequency. Find the things of higher frequency and stay with them. Perhaps it is as simple as asking before you do anything or think anything, what frequency is this on? And taking a look at that frequency. It can be simple. Call on me, Saint Germain, and ask to look through your higher frequency with acceptance at those things in the lower frequency. It is true that the lotus does grow from the mud. It is true that the spirit does rise from the decaying body. It is true that the decaying body, ultimately, in its original form, was to go back to the earth and feed the earth. It was a perfect recycling, although it is imbalanced now in the desire to preserve it.